There we go. Whew. That's a good thing.
That's good. I was just talking technical stuff anyway.
100%. I was explaining to Casey just how my legs look like two giant ass hams. Two fat little legs. Oh my god, it's time to
gonna
run
go with
more.
the darker colors. It hides a lot of sins.
Right? Or just something that's the same color as the fucking chair. Anyway, hi. Welcome to DM Chats. I guess we're sponsored by Stella because I pointed that directly at camera.
Do that, right? Just in case.
Just in case. This could be you, Stella.
Yeah, unless they cease and desist, then this is just this is water.
Exactly that.
Yep.
There we go. We don't waste not. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Welcome to DM Chats on a Monday.
Isn't Monday when we normally do it?
Yeah. I just wanted that sentence to go a little longer.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know why. I just felt like the alliteration or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man.
We look more comfortable now, huh?
We do. Yeah. Take a look at us there.
What's all this?
Oh, that's us.
Oh, just us.
I'm gonna record like a whole fucking loop by doing that and being like, woo, sending everyone on a trip. But yeah, no, got the whole chat or whatever. So this
Chat's
is cool.
We've
This
got,
is a nice, comfy setup.
I'm assuming, since I can't see the chat, we've got like 10,000 viewers, right?
Something
like that?
Close, 9.8k.
Yep.
Somewhat there.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Exactly, man. That's just, now and then you tag.
Yeah.
Ginny D in a comment. I was like, who's famous in this? And I couldn't think of anybody.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, this is interesting because now I'm so much more aware of my entire body and how I'm sitting and so on, as opposed to just being like this much of me on the screen.
Exactly that. And then there's
a lot of DM chats with no pants on.
And it's 100. I was so close to being like, I'll just wear shorts still. I don't care. I think we should get bathrobes.
Right.
Oh, that said DM on the back of it.
Yeah, or smoking jacket or something.
Oh, that could be cool.
Yeah,
and it makes it with cigars and pipes.
I do have some pipes. So.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I think I still have my other one around here somewhere. I bought it when we started playing D&D.
I actually have a corn cob one as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
like the fucking Kentucky one?
Yeah.
I love that.
I haven't used them in years, but you know.
I mean, oh yeah, that might not be good then.
Well,
it's just a husk, right?
Well, they're clean.
Oh, they're clean. They're like dried out. They don't.
Well, it was preserved or whatever. They put something on the outside of it.
They do like a process.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's not just a vegetable.
It was in a bin at a cigar shop or something.
Okay, good.
It was like $4.
Okay, good. That's good.
So it might not even be a real corn cob. It's probably plastic. I have no idea.
3D printed corn cob.
So.
Yeah.
Was,
so you always ask me this every session.
Yeah.
But I'm so fucking rude.
What?
I don't ask you.
What?
How did you enjoy Did you enjoy the last session?
No, it was terrible. Yeah, no, it was great.
That's why I don't ask.
You know, the end of the last, which I think airing-wise we're up to date except for what we filmed yesterday.
Correct. The edit got finished today. That's
so we ended the last one with me really engaged into the combat, maybe because we hadn't had combat in a little while. Some of my character was coming out of me, and the frustration of we finally got to combat had one round of combat, and then so of course I screamed at you when you stopped the session.
I was like, I've never seen you like that before.
I was really into it, you know?
Fucking yelled at me.
And it was like my turn next.
Yeah. Fucking screamed at me. Right at the end of the episode.
She's finally getting good initiatives with that advantage roll that the barbarians get.
Oh, yeah.
Finally going higher in the initiative order.
Because you've had it for a while.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't paid off.
No, it hasn't. And finally got like a natural 20 or 21 or 22 or something. Somewhere in that range. And yeah, just I was ready. So of course I was ready for this, and we got, you know, the remainder of that combat, which was wild and everything.
Yes.
And yeah, it was great.
It was cool.
It was an exciting session. It's one of those that I'm loving where we're going, and I'm excited to get to the end because it's all building toward that direction.
It is.
And my anticipation of it is just growing and growing and growing. So I'm just like, I really want to get there, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want it to end either. So
I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like this because there's so much inside that book. Dale gives you so much shit to do, and I'm like, it'll be cool to like get towards the end because I do want to see you guys finally make this big venture.
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, this is kind of fun, and everyone's sort of walking about. But yeah, so the idea that the most recent combat that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That you'll be seeing tomorrow.
Yep. I'm trying to dance around and say,
yeah,
it happened and it concluded in some fashion.
It happened and it concluded. Yeah, I did want to start using that as like a tutorial to be like, all right, some big shit coming your guys' way. Some weird stuff.
Yeah.
That's coming along your way. So, yeah.
What you're saying is buy more potions. Possibly more potent.
I remember it's scary, and we'll get to a good segue in a second.
Find NPCs that are clerics. What else?
I'm so happy. Like campaign 2 on Alicia's like, I'm gonna play cleric. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
You guys need that shit.
Yeah, it's not just you gotta have the healer, so there's someone who's running around as a medic. Clerics are incredibly powerful.
Oh, they're beautiful.
In 5e, and I'm sure in previous versions too, they can wear like heavy armor. They can kick ass. They have powerful damage spells as well as support spells,
and they're just fun to create. There's so like you build them around a belief, which immediately is a great
And there's so many deities from so many different pantheons you can use. Yeah, clerics are fantastic, and the different domains that are out there, and they keep adding more and more and more. And realistically, from the basic player's handbook, there are already several domains. Of any of the classes, it's probably got the most starting archetypes, other than maybe wizard, because they got a lot of schools to start with. But I'd have to look. I don't know the exact amount, but it's like 10. It's
like light, life. It's arcana.
Knowledge.
War.
Yeah.
Nature.
Yeah. Tempest.
Yeah. So yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a few. Yeah.
But can clerics swim? Is there a story there? Did someone drown?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe. I don't do a ton of putting the characters underwater because it's really good because it adds a dynamic to combat that can complicate things. I have to think differently about how to fight underwater, but at the same time, as a DM, it's a lot of things to think about too, because the rules of underwater combat, what it does to their movements, and how magic works, and if it does do anything different to magic.
Ranged attacks change drastically.
Yeah, and most weapons are going to be at disadvantage, except if they're like a piercing weapon, because it can cut through the water just fine, things like that.
Yeah.
And then if actual drowning happens and stuff like that, or how long they can hold their breath, and realistically, if they're in combat, they can hold their breath for
a while, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, like for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And then once they do run out of breath, how much time do they have before they actually go to 0 hit points? It's just there's a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Underwater combat can be complicated.
Whatever creatures you're throwing at them, it's a lot to maintain.
Yeah, if you're looking for something to give to the players that is puts a lot of stakes out there, puts a time limit on things, you want to make a regular combat.
Oh my god, it was the phone. Sorry. I'm sorry, I just got fingered in the ear by a fern. Okay, buddy, I'm going to have to turn you away. There we go. Woo, okay. We're back in it.
If you want to make a regular combat interesting, underwater is a good way to do it. Or have a fern poke them in the ear.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. I'm going to get goosebumps from that.
But none of this is what we were talking about today.
No, but there's a decent segue, because while you guys are currently on your adventure, walking about towards the Dark Duchess.
Yes.
And inside last session, there was something that came along your guys' way, because you guys are traveling right now over a far distance.
Yeah.
And you guys are traveling over a path you guys have already traveled along twice now. And so there's a lot of repetition, and so I had the choice of do I just speed things up like I did with the Giants, or do I use this time to try and get you guys more involved with outside town lore, because you guys kind of just fell in love with a singular town.
Yeah,
which has been great.
Sure,
it's been wonderful. But while you guys are traveling out, I was like, what else can I throw at you guys? But you're also dealing with a lot of NPCs.
Yeah, and
so it's like, all right, I'm gonna try build the rest of this travel. Just throwing cool, more magic stuff. I think a lot of people talking has come your guys' way. A lot of names for you guys to remember.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, let's just see if I can start adding some fun stuff, like games with Goliaths, perhaps, and spoilers. And, other cool stuff, and then I might have scared you guys away from something, which I kind of hate that I did.
Yeah.
But
well, I know what you're talking about. I think it's something we didn't engage with.
There was a particular encounter that you guys decided to veer away from, which is always an option.
Well, yeah, and that's the tough part is with something like that, where there's not something imminently chasing, or if it's something that is not like particularly enticing, the players are oftentimes going to do that. So be prepared, especially when it comes to a travel encounter. The players have that option in most cases to just walk away.
Yeah.
We did that early on with the flag on top of the hill or whatever.
Yeah, which you guys are approaching again.
Right.
Yeah.
And we could have gone over there, and me as myself as a player, as a DM, Casey, in both situations, absolutely on both of these things we have skipped over.
Yeah.
Absolutely wanted to know what the fuck is there, wants to go over and engage it.
Sure.
But playing in the character, it's that double-edged sword of, while adding these kind of timelines or ticking clocks or a sense of urgency to certain things, the players get more engaged into what's going on, but they're less likely to waste time doing other shit.
Yeah.
So you almost have to give them, and you've done this plenty of times, you have to give them like, okay, you've got 4 days where you have time to do stuff.
Yeah.
And will go off and wander around and sandbox a little bit in the town or whatever.
Yeah.
But because we're like, well, we really need to get to this place. We don't want to keep getting in trouble. We could get attacked at any point. We don't want to get caught off guard. More people are going to die the longer we take, that kind of thing. In our minds is, we need to hurry.
Yeah.
And so we're less likely to get distracted by crap along the way,
yeah.
unless it's jammed into our faces. And I 100% really, like, after we're done, of course, you got to have like an end of campaign Q&A session and shit.
Oh, we definitely are.
I need to know what both of those things are.
Oh, great.
Otherwise, I'll go insane.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I'm looking forward to sharing them. There's a few things that I can't wait to, like, I can finally talk about this. Yeah. Now that the campaign's over.
No question.
Or, open it up to, what was that thing? Yeah.
I
would love to.
Because when I ended my 3.5 year long campaign, having that session, or the last session was kind of a epilogue. What are your characters doing for the rest of their time? Or we go through a couple of encounters of them saying, well, I wanted to go talk to this person, so we have a little role play moment with that.
Sure.
And just kind of ease out into roll credits at the end.
Yeah.
And then the second half of that session was just us talking about some stuff in the campaign, having a couple questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as a DM, even like 2 or 3 questions about stuff, because they brought up 1 or 2 things. I was like, shit, I forgot about that.
Sure. I mean, that's
so
most
glad
likely
you
going to
asked me
happen.
that.
I'm going to be like,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
The fucking what?
Yeah. I did what now?
I don't know.
That's right.
It would have exploded.
Yeah. Yep. It would have blown up. Yeah, we had something the players were absolutely convinced was what was it? Oh, they thought it was like a still room, like, or a brewery room where they were doing some brewing, and they never were able to figure it out or break it open, or they got concerned and didn't want to blow up. I don't remember. Some rolls didn't go their way. And then they were convinced it was a toilet later on, and at the end they refused my answer of, like, it was just their kind of like water filtration thing, and they're like, no, that was totally a toilet.
Yeah, like, 100%.
Sure, it was a toilet.
You got me.
A completely sealed barrel that had a pipe coming out of it in a room.
You gotta
that was locked.
Push, man.
Definitely a toilet. So, but it was. Yeah, it's almost sometimes more interesting the things they think up.
Yeah.
But yeah, traveling. We're talking about traveling.
But yeah, we're talking about traveling.
We're talking about traveling.
Yeah, and I guess it's up the comments if you have anything. Questions, ideas, cool things that you noticed, things that you would have preferred in previous games. Chat about that.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some of the things I know I'm constantly looking that out to since I started this campaign. It's like, and very often forgetting about it as soon as you guys started traveling. Different kind of ways to kind of enhance traveling. I'm currently playing a little game inside a company at my work. Yeah, we have a little company game. And we're all at level 1, and we were doing like a little dungeon delve for a quest. And he mentioned beforehand he wants to do things like a little bit of resource management when it comes to things like food or rope, things like
sure.
Yeah, make traversing things a little bit, and just the notion of rations when you're low on money, because that doesn't work as soon as people have.
Oh yeah,
1,000 gold or something. Because it's like we stock up. It's in a wagon. We don't even push it. Off we go.
Right.
Yeah, which is where you guys are kind of at now. But that small limit of early travel, when there's resource management like rations, it's like I have these few days of rations, and it's like cool.
Yeah.
Are we gonna bring horses and stuff to pull stuff? Because then we don't have to worry. We can get more. It's like cool. We have to feed them though. Fuck. That little bit of resource management for long distance travels adds so much tension.
It does. Yeah. And you can still use that later on. It's like, hey, you have a lot of money, but you haven't been to a town in 3 weeks. So where's your rations are gone by now. Yeah. You can still have those, but then again, depending on how you want to handle it, depending on where they are, you can always have, if they are higher level, they roll a survival check, and someone's probably trained in it, and they roll a 22, and it's like, yeah, you caught fish, or you were able to hunt down a deer, and everything's fine. But yeah, I tend to, even when it comes to like encounters, even as the levels get higher, tend to use a little bit more like brevity with it. It's just, is there anything you want to do? You're traveling for 2 days. Yeah. Nothing's really going to occur during that time period. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Because you don't need to think up a road encounter every time they go on the road for every day, potentially. Yeah. From level 1 to 20. That's 100%. Great stuff for a while, but eventually it's like, you just want to get to the next place. Yeah. And, and sometimes they'll actually get too powerful for that, and they can just teleport everywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
They got a wizard or whatever. Yeah. Or maybe they end up investing in a sky ship or something, depending on if your lore has sky ships. Yeah. Or a ship or whatever.
Sky ship.
Yeah, sky
big
ship.
hot air balloon.
Yeah.
I think that was something that they added in, which is the Wonderlight. There's this big epic hot air balloon that you can get, which is pretty fun. Yeah.
And sky ships are fun too, because you can do cool encounters there. And it's the added thing of, if you fall off a boat in the ocean, like, we can retrieve you. If you fall off a boat in the sky, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
So that can add a little extra tension.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you? How do you handle fall damage?
I was talking, depending on the character class and the level. I guess we figured out that Borla could theoretically survive if she raged and fell from 1,000 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
If you do the, what is it, 20d6 or something?
Yeah, if you took the average. Yeah. If you just went by the average, then the average fall damage. Yeah. It would be. So, a really cool point of Mariachi Dan brought up.
Yes.
Is when you're limiting your folks' rations and travel supplies, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
Is that you do slowly start to push your party into the crime world due to low rations. It's something that they have to consider. Yeah. And there's a game I'm playing right now called War Tales. Brilliant game. And you're basically a little adventuring party as you're going along, trying to hunt bounties, collect money, things like that. But starting off, money is slim for a long time.
Right.
And there are times where you're like passing a farm, and you have the option of like just robbing and stealing from these people because you're low on rations. Other people are gonna get really angry, probably backstab you. You're so tempted to get to it, and there's been moments where I'm like, ooh, no, I don't know, maybe I want to. And I think it's a great point, because that adds a lot of tension, and that encourages roleplay amongst the team. Because I think between you and DM and player, that kind of morality, whatever, it's kind of left up to them. Yeah. Unless, talk about it beforehand.
I love toying with gray areas of morality and having, it's part of the reason why, and I've talked about it before, I like having even lesser bad guys having a slightly developed background. Yeah. Because it can fuck with the players a little bit if they know that he has the kids at home or something, and you're about to murder him because he's a horrible person and deserves to be killed, but does he?
Yeah. Is it for the best?
So putting that out there, they're starving, they're having trouble getting by. Do the players, how do they handle it? Yeah. Do they go and ask for something? Do they go and say, hey, farmer, we'd like some food, what can we do for you? And turns out now you can have them do a little side quest where they're going off and killing something that's been killing the cattle or whatever.
Yeah.
Or do they just go into the chicken coop and steal some chicken eggs?
Yeah.
You know?
Bail. Steal a chicken
in
a cage.
Which, you know, for
constant eggs.
For the most part, unless they're very low level or roll really poorly, most rogues can get in and out of a damn chicken coop without a farmer finding them.
Yeah.
With their basic commoner stats and passive perception of 10.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
You know, it's... I do like that. I think that's interesting, and that actually, for travel wise, brings up something I was thinking about too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's just easy to do monster encounters, or they get robbed by bandits,
sure,
or whatever. But having them encounter someone else that's being harried by something, like someone else who's getting robbed, or a creature that's attacking someone, or people that are hunting a creature, say. Just thinking of that right now. Wouldn't it be interesting? You see some people hunting a creature, and it's like, are they doing this because they need the food, or because it's for sport? Or do you feel bad for the creature? Do you just ignore them and say that's not our problem? Mm-hmm. Is there, as dark as it is there poaching going on in this area?
Maybe.
Do you go in and kill the poachers? Do you knock them out? Do you arrest them? Yes, no question.
Murder them.
Shoot them. Shoot them. Yep. But that could provide yet another gray area and this little interesting thing for the players. And you could even develop that further with, if there is poaching, that means that there is a black market for the items in the towns.
Then there you go. A whole other thing. There's other poachers, which means other monsters and other encounters. You can build it. You can build off of anything, really. But yeah, that's a great way of immediately exploring that out there.
And
I like that, actually.
Yeah. We've talked about setting up like encounter tables or event tables that you can roll on to see.
100%.
And I know you're using those now, and I highly recommend them for what's the weather like, what is anything go wrong during the day, do you spot anything interesting, because it doesn't have to be an encounter. Use it as an opportunity to show the lore of this place. They pass by the ruins of something.
I was about to say something old and decrepit that's been broken down.
There's no treasure or anything in there, doesn't need to be, but you can expand on the lore of this world. Have them roll a history check, have them do an investigation to find, cave paintings or whatever.
Absolutely. I think religion check goes a far way for things like that. Finding small raps and being like, it just, because it's the lore that you could explore and really delve into. If there's a character who is kind of religious, they would they have their moment to kind of educate everyone else in the team. It
enriches the world. It 100%. It brings them more into it. Describe today, it rained the previous day, describe a rainbow the next day, and they'll be interested by that shit. And don't sleep on, I was like, it's a rainy day, so you get there a little bit, it takes longer today than you expected, you don't get as far. Yeah, that's true, it gets muddy, but also does this provide a problem for them the next day because it is so muddy the wagon gets stuck? Or it caused a flood and a bridge got taken out. Now you have to figure out how to get across the bridge, or a tree got downed, and you can normally go around, but the forest you're in is really dense and you got big horses and shit. And
just the notion of, you see far ahead of you a tree is sort of blocking the path. Players are suspicious.
They'll think it's a trap.
They're gonna think it's a trap.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Maybe it is. Like,
that's a great trap for like trolls and shit, or just bandits that cut it down.
Goblins. They chopped it down or got a chunky ogre to do it for them.
I like the big lumbering enemies like trolls and giants and shit.
I love it.
Just the pure insane power, and the fact that you have to hit them a ton of times for them to go down. Real simple. Not gonna cast any spells or anything, but when they hit you, there goes half your health.
You want to piece out.
That's good stuff. The kind of damage where the entire table goes, oh shit. Love that stuff.
It's a fun question.
Yes.
At what level is the party the road counter for other parties or monsters? So at what point is it you're traveling what level that your parties are at? At what point does it become an encounter for everyone else as opposed to your players because you're so beefy? And I guess I'm
still having trouble wrapping my head around the
question. At what point is it danger for everyone else when you're traveling? At what level?
Oh,
of your party.
You're the one
where
others are looking out
You're
for.
the monsters.
Well,
yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, depending on the type of campaign you're running, it could be early. But,
yeah, and I guess depending on where you're walking from town to town, that's probably applicable.
Yeah. And that is an interesting note, because you should be, theoretically, if you're going from town to town, passing people along the way.
Yeah.
You're going to see other travelers passing by. Maybe you encounter someone who's selling something. Maybe it's just people going to the next town. Maybe they're moving.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of stuff like that. But depending on your party and how you look and how much weaponry you have, magical items, some people are going to shy away from you, be real scared or confused or...
Oh, yeah. Whatever your name is. Names of yours and or villains. Travel fast.
And maybe a family is traveling and the kids are like, oh, cool, that tiefling has giant armor on. It's like,
a dragonborn. Wow.
Yeah, that's depending on the type of race you've picked. Are they rare for that area so people notice you as you travel?
Absolutely,
Find you interesting or unique in some way.
Or scary.
Yeah.
Shy away from the half-orc.
That's true. Poor half-orcs.
Yeah.
Not loved by any group. Their humans don't like them, and the orcs don't like them.
Favorite. They're my favorite.
Oh, I love them. Yeah,
I love them so much. You know.
Yeah.
But they are naturally oscillating.
Yeah, maybe early spoilers might be going that route for campaign 2.
Campaign 2, yeah. That's the way to go.
Thinking about it. I like half-orcs. They're fun.
I'm gonna be constantly tempted not to make a.
I feel like I'm sliding down in the chair and I keep having to adjust up.
Okay.
I think it's just me. I'm fidgeting, so I slide down. Not you, me.
I might have broken the chair. I got these because I thought they looked cool.
Of course, I also made notes for myself. I'm gonna hold it up here like I can't see.
There we go. I'm gonna look at the chat.
What? Oh, I meant to mention this earlier. That's actually why I looked down, because I made a note. We talked about expanding the lore. I talked about having backgrounds for people.
Yeah.
If you do go with, say, an encounter table, and you have these things written out, like they'll encounter, a dragon flies overhead. Do they hide or do they try and fight it? Or they encounter these bandits doing this and that, or these goblins, whatever it may be. I highly recommend taking just a moment to give a little bit of thought to why they're there, how they got there, what they're doing. Or is the creature's lair nearby? Is there a reason it's hunting over here? Are the bandits looking for something in particular? Are they part of a larger group? Yeah. Those little things really, really enhance the entire combat and encounter. And depending on what the players do they grab someone and interrogate them? Will they find something fun on the bodies? Because a lot of times they'll search the bodies. And you can roll, you find 75 silver. And
money is always a good reward.
A potion or something like that, because bad guys can carry potions and use them too. It's shocking how frustrating it is when you tell a player, okay, with their bonus action or whatever, they pop a potion and heal, and they're like, what? They can do that too?
What
Fuck
the
them!
Fuck?
Also, the thought that had you knocked them out quicker, you could have had that potion. So there's that too.
100%.
But yeah, they'll ask and that you find. They have a note on their person about something, or something that may hint to something in the next town.
Yeah, that's true. Family heirloom.
Yeah,
far away as well. Yeah. Everyone has parents.
Yeah, even in a random encounter, you can work in story notes and things like that. Just kind of pepper in those little clues that you can toss into these situations, and it's the idea of railroading without railroading, because you're planting clues in there intentionally. Yeah, that they're going to find, knowing that they're probably going to bite onto them. Yeah, but not forcing it, letting them find it on their own. It's just a creative way to not be like, you go in the next town and the first thing you notice is the thing I want you to go to. Yeah. You ever played Morrowind? No. I know what it is, but I've not.
There's a great side quest or incident that happens while you're just walking, right? You're walking through a forest or something, and you come across just a dead body by themselves. Right. And they're just kind of limp, sort of dead on the ground, and so naturally you search them. And when you search them, they have a few potions, and then a letter that's angry to the wife or something, or whatever. A little bit of cash, their clothes that they're wearing. And naturally when I was playing, I was like, oh, cool. unidentified potion. Oh, I'll see what it is. And then I drank it, like nothing happened. I was like, okay, whatever. And then I kept walking for a little while, and then combat happened, and like I ran and jumped off of a rock to like go and slash it. But I just went, and I just took off like I could see the planet almost before I ended up landing somewhere on the other side of the continent in the ocean. And it turns out that was a potion of like mega jump, and this guy was a scientist or like an alchemist.
Wow.
He fucked something up so bad that when he drank it, he launched himself all the way into the forest and killed himself.
Wow.
And it's just small things like that. Like if you're gonna plant these small little bits of interesting things that could happen, that's a really good example. It's a bit extreme, maybe, to do that.
Sure.
But the idea of like this great small itty bitty encounter. It's a dead person. There's no threat.
Yeah.
There's a few pieces of information you plant on them.
Yeah.
It could lead to something that immediately, it seems like nothing, and then later it pays off as this brilliant, hilarious moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's so good. I remember that. It's such a great game.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I had used this, and I can't remember if I brought this up before, because we did talk about traveling and making traveling interesting before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to steer away from some of the things, though we can touch on things again.
Sure.
For all of our new viewers.
Oh,
I have used before as a way of introducing a cool creature that may be a little too strong for them. Weapons that were impaled into it.
Yeah.
It was also a hint towards other enemies in the area because they had attacked this thing or defended themselves against it.
Yeah, odd to tell.
They notice, like, this is a design that Knoll tribes in the area use, so you know that it was a fight between this wyvern and gnolls. It ran off, but then now you're encountering it because maybe you're near its nest or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it won. There's a bunch of dead gnolls somewhere.
Yeah, I think when they encountered it was grounded because of the damage it took.
Yeah.
But just a fun little thing. There's a interesting and unique world out there. You're not the only ones attacking monsters and all that. So maybe you encounter something that has already happened, or got too late to something, and you find the remains of an attacked caravan, and maybe there's dead folks there. Maybe they're tied up and in the back of their.
That's a good point.
And maybe you find evidence that people were dragged away. Do they follow that, or do they go? Shit, we got to watch out for ourselves and continue on the way.
And then peace on out. Yeah.
Just little fun stuff like that.
Yeah. Lost the volume.
Where? What?
What do you mean? What? Connectivity issues followed by audio loss. Not again. Oh no. I mean, we're getting levels on the side. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. Keep talking. We're here.
Me? Keep talking about what?
About what?
Apparently everything I'm saying is getting lost anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you want to just get away saying something?
Oh, like something I would get, say, canceled for or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What have you always wanted to say?
What have I always wanted to say?
Yeah.
You know who really pissed me off?
I just fucking could just swing at right now.
Huh? Who?
I don't know.
No, you gotta tell me now.
Streamlabs, other than that.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I mean,
Is it Streamlabs? Is it the old Yield Twitch?
Yield Twitch. Yield Twitch.
Is it Spectrum?
Yeah. All right. How about now, everybody?
Anything? Wake up, chat.
Where you at? No.
Still bad? Well, shit.
Still nothing. What the fudge? Oops. How about now?
Did dropping the iPad on the laptop fix it? Did you accidentally, like, modern day Fonzie it back into working?
I mean, that shit works too.
I blame whatever happens. I blame Nightbot.
You know what? It was right about when Nightbot came along that everything just started.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because this is something we could totally pre-record, but I like the chat.
Yeah, exactly that.
I prefer being able to talk to folks. hope they're all lying and it's just me sitting here.
I would love nothing more.
Just like burping and chilling out. It was just a prank. Yeah.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Just have me stuck here.
That would be so good.
But you're seeing the Twitch thing right there, and there is stuff going on. Like you can see me waving my hand back and forth.
Yeah, but
well, now it's a little choppy, isn't it? No, maybe not.
Why?
There's a bit of a delay, I think, though.
Yeah, there's a bit of a.
Well, it seemed longer than that, like 20 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Garble.
There it goes. Whoa. There we go. I think we got something. You're back. You sound squeaky. What? There you go. This is someone streaming, everybody. Yeah.
What?
There you go.
Are we back?
Yeah, but now we're sounding sped up, like high pitched. There you go, like that.
Yeah.
What is happening?
We'll just talk really deep and slowly.
There we go, it did. Caught up.
Did it?
Yes.
Oh, that was it catching up from...
from the other part. I apologize, everybody. It's always a fucking issue.
I don't.
I
don't think it's our fault, so I'm not apologizing for shit.
You know, that's a good point. You know, that's a fucking... Where were you when we needed... Just get up and get angry at it.
I'm done making excuses and apologies for technology fucking up.
That's a good point.
It's not my fault.
How much money do we pay to have technology?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how often do they just not work?
All the time.
Case in point.
Yep. I'm talking to you, Spectrum.
Get your shit together.
Mike's down here. I'm talking to you, Spectrum.
Spectrum. I swear to God. Can't wait till there's a local competitor. There you go. Blame Canada. Done. Thank you, Bedlam.
I don't know. They're okay.
They're all pretty cool.
They seem friendly too.
They got a lot of cool shit going on for them.
I really like the show Letterkenny, and that's a bunch of Canadians. So.
Oh, Letterkenny's Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, look good.
It's really fun.
Nice.
It's very crude, but very, very
I
fun.
would imagine so.
Yes, it's very funny.
Oh, you should travel to Canada.
Yeah,
Speaking of travel.
If you got Hulu and you like crude jokes, Letterkenny is fucking hilarious.
There it is.
Yep.
Oi.
Anywho.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
I don't remember what was being said last, how much of what I was saying got cut off.
Let me backtrack a bit, Chef.
No idea when
I just got mad at the technology.
Yeah, I'm sure I lost some of what I was saying.
We were talking. Help.
Help. Before we disintegrated or whatever happened, what were we saying last?
Yeah, I think the last thing was we were talking about the wyvern.
Yeah, I mentioned the wyvern.
Out of it,
yeah.
And the idea that we're not the only thing. The players aren't the only thing that monsters would at some point come across.
At the risk of repeating some of what I said. Encountering a creature that has already been through combat, encountering a wagon that has already been robbed. Are the people still there? Do you find footprints and follow them? Do you just leave it be? Do you look for something they might have missed and rob it yourselves? Those kind of things. And previously injured creature is a way to introduce a creature that maybe your characters aren't leveled up enough yet for. But they can still fight something cool and big, realizing, holy shit, if that thing had been full strength, that could have been real trouble.
Yeah. I think, to piggyback off of that a little bit. Sorry, it did make me start to think about The Lost Mines of Phandelver, one of the starting adventures that you could have.
Yeah.
Literally, the start of it is you're in a caravan on the way. And then there seems to be like a carriage that's been knocked over. 2 of the horses are dead.
Yeah.
And you notice this at maybe about 40 feet away or something.
Uh-huh.
And then the players start from there. And so there's essentially a goblin ambush that's kind of planned for them if they go and they investigate.
Yeah.
But it says in the beginning, I think on the first page of an introductory adventure, is they could just keep going.
Yeah.
They don't follow the goblins, which leads to a whole cave where they're kind of pinged together with wolves, and they have a bugbear that's kind of running the joint.
Nice.
And then that's a plan for like a later villain that they meet. But the first page of a starting adventure is like they could literally just leave.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, go to the town of Phandalin. And it's like, okay.
I think think the first ever encounter I had in D&D was that, and I didn't know it at the time that that's what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the DM was running something I'd never played before. One of the people I was playing with had, and then the other person had not either.
Sure.
And we encountered a wagon. I don't think there were dead horses. There might have been. Goblin ambush, but inside the wagon was like a hatch that led down into a cave.
Yeah.
And there were goblins in there that we also fought.
Okay.
But it was before leading into something else. Maybe
was there a waterfall?
No.
That comes crashing down?
No.
Spoilers.
So it was probably inspired by that, and he might have used that to do it.
It is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool cave. And I think to this day, it's probably one of the most highest rated source books that have come out of Wizards of the Coast.
I haven't, because I haven't run it, because we found out not that long ago that I dove in to the deep end a bit and didn't do any of the starter pack stuff.
That's right, you avoided basic rules,
what
right?
The hell the basic rules of the starter kit. It's like, I've seen it, but I was like, well, I have all the other shit already. Do I need the starter kit? And I think a DM at the time told me, it's like, no, technically not. You have the other books and source books and shit.
Yeah.
So you don't really need that starter kit because you're starting here instead.
Sure.
And I've never looked at them. I'm aware of the Lost Mines of Phandelver, and I've heard good things about it, but I've never run it. I'm always looking for something easy for new folks, so I think I need to familiarize myself with it.
It's good. I mean, it's kind of like we played the Dragon of Aspire Peak.
Yeah.
And it's in the same bout. It's the same. It's kind of vanilla. And there's like
you can always spice it up. We've talked about this on Chatz before.
We certainly have.
Take a look at it, be like, this is cool. How can I make it a little bit more interesting?
Yeah, and vanilla works sometimes.
And vanilla's great too. Great. Especially if it's new folks. You don't need to make it too crazy.
No.
In fact, don't.
Yeah, make it as simple as like a goblin and an orc for someone new to fantasy.
Yeah.
That difference alone is like, they're like two different things. It's like
and they're trying to figure out, like, they're confused by cantrips at that point. So let's keep it simple at the beginning.
Sleep spell. It's always like,
just because
what?
Sleep spell's great. Having to explain it early is crazy.
It is.
But
that's an adventure of its own.
Yeah. That and short rests. Explaining how short rests works is it's tough. I've had players that are nearly 10th level and still don't understand all the dynamics of a short rest.
Yeah.
It's just hit dice are weird, and what certain people get back during those times is a little weird. How long it takes, because some DMs are a little wibbly wobbly about that kind of, or I guess wishy-washy about the actual time spent for a short rest.
Oh, sure.
Because I had someone that's like, well, it's like 30 minutes, and I was like, it's an hour, it's 45, or whatever.
It's an hour.
It's an hour. Yeah.
It's an hour.
Yeah.
It's in the book.
It's an hour.
Just
it's an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need an hour. That's why there's the catnap spell or whatever. You can get a short rest in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So your short rest normally shouldn't be 10 minutes.
Huh? Feel good.
Yeah. It's great. It's a fun little spell. It's a utility spell, but it can be extremely useful.
Yeah.
Just in very specific situations.
Exactly.
As are a lot of utility spells.
Yeah, which is the way to go.
Yeah.
I love utility. In my opinion, it's
absolutely.
The way to go. Yeah. So I guess we've got a few minutes left. Let's talk about how we can make traveling. So we got the idea of, like, we got our encounter tables. We've got how to add in some lore here and there.
Yep.
How do you think traveling could be a little more interactive for the players, outside of asking players to roll me d6, roll me d8, roll whatever? Because there's several people that have very opinionated, colorful opinions of traveling, for the sake of they don't find it to be that engaging or entertaining for the players on an interactive level, where they're actually, because is it the DM just pushing the characters across the board, or are these people actually walking?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or are they venturing forward? Yeah,
which kind of like how we said toward the beginning. If you wanted to make it just you're on the road for 2 days, is there anything you want to do during that time period? You can make it be a very quick thing and not too boring, or every night you got to do a watch and all that stuff. If you want to make it quick, make it quick. Base it around what the players like, and also how you want to do it too.
Sure.
If the DM's, as a DM, you don't want to try and figure all of that nonsense about traveling in your mind nonsense, then don't do it. You want it to be fun for everybody, including yourself.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I'd say I had a thought and then I segued off a little bit away from it.
It's quite alright.
Making it more interesting.
Making it more interactive.
Yeah. I think. Damn, I had it. There was something there I was gonna say, and I don't remember what it was.
Got to do with making cam.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Oh, what I was saying is, there anything you want to do during that time period? Use that to your advantage.
Sure.
Because when someone is traveling, especially if it's something like a wagon where they're not having to walk the entire time, or a ship where they may not have a whole lot to do, they don't have to concentrate on traversing the mountainside or whatever, which you can throw in skill checks along the way. We talked about down trees and things like that, so it's not, or it's things getting stuck in the mud, or think of what could happen to the environment that would make them need to do skill checks or think outside of the box to cross things or what have you. But just laying it out there for the players, like, okay, so you have the day. What do you want to do while you're walking? Are you just walking for 10 hours, not talking to each other, not doing anything? Or are you on the ship just enjoying the view the entire day? And a lot of times players will just give you something at that point, like, oh, I wanted to talk to this person, or can I practice using a rapier with a fighter because I'm a wizard and I can't use anything? And maybe if they do that enough times, have them do some skill checks, and after traveling for a few weeks worth or something, however long you want to do it, depending on the roles, maybe you give them a proficiency with a rapier then.
Yeah.
It may, they practice a language with another one of the characters
for a while.
That's a great one. That's a really fun one to do. I recommend, unless you've got that kind of brain and you're a polyglot and can learn languages like that, have it take a while for them to learn the language, or make them have a passing understanding throughout the way, so if they hear someone speaking Orcish and they've been training in it, have them make an intelligence roll to see if they can get the important parts of it.
Absolutely. Or
like
do
that.
they recognize it as Orcish? Are you listening through a door and being like, what's there? You just don't understand this language. Know what it is, but well, you spend some time learning it. Yeah, that's Draconian. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Or it sounds sort of like Elvish, but not quite. Like, it's more it's more poetic sounding or sing-song.
It's got a little more rhythm to it.
Maybe it's Sylvan. Something like that. So sometimes just laying it out there, saying, hey, you've got downtime while you're doing this. What are you doing?
Do you want to utilize it?
Yeah. Do you want to do anything with this? And sometimes that can bring really great role play moments because they just wanted to chat with each other.
Yeah.
And sometimes backstory gets drawn out because they asked the right questions, or someone was looking for the opportunity for someone to ask them something.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many players have characters that have these backstories they do want to divulge, but they play in a character that doesn't want to talk about their backstory.
Yeah. So especially very early when you're meeting someone new.
Oh, sure. Like, and that makes sense. These type of players, or the characters, of course, they're going to be an adventure, and they're not going to want to talk about their deep, dark past that caused them to be this really emo character.
Picked up the sword again.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But, maybe after a few missions, you start to trust these folks that are saving your life now and again, and you chat about something over a campfire with them.
Yeah,
you get close to people, fighting alongside each other.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's how you bond with people,
right?
Like, well, I mean, it's not specific to how you bond with people, but it does lead you to bond with them.
Yeah, if you're having trouble bonding, go out and get into fights with a wild pack of wolves.
Exactly. Go kill the local fauna.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, I thought you said farmer for a second. I was like, wow,
kill the local fauna.
That got dark really quick. But fauna, yes, sure, yeah.
So it's a great question that I really love here. But Mariachi Den, of course. Of course. If it's a region a character knows well, do you ever ask the player to describe it? Do you involve them and give them more attachment? Say the village they grew up in, etc.
Yeah.
That's a question I really love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 100% would offer the creativity for and if they're new and they're not too comfortable with it, then then that's just give them that out, of course. But if it's something that they want to handle, it's like 100%.
Oh yeah, especially
crazy.
You're visiting a childhood home, especially if you don't want it necessarily as grand as describe the entire town you grew up in. You can do that, but if so they're visiting your house, what would it look like?
Yeah.
you don't need to. I mean, maybe have a plan for something just in case they clam up or they don't want to talk about it too much. You can, as a DM, do that. And maybe you've spoken with them, hopefully ahead of time, and gotten some of that lore chiseled out for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, give them that opportunity. I don't know if this is what maybe caused Mariachi Dan to ask this question, but there is I was recently watching something that Brennan Lee Mulligan did, and he does that a lot. He's like, you know what this place is? You describe it. Great. You know, he does that, and it's great. It's a great way to get them engaged, and you see the player go, yes, so it's this.
Cool,
and they suddenly have their stage to describe these things, and they get passionate about it, and it does draw them into that moment. And you know, sometimes a player can describe something about their history in a way that's a lot more interesting than you as the DM can, because you're not as invested into their character as they are.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's one thing to explain the narrative from a DM's point, but explaining a character is like, that's a particular meta that I always used to go down to, blah, blah, blah. And that personal involvement does take a little edge further away. That's actually a very good note.
And I did say that because I know that Dan does like Brennan quite a bit.
Yeah.
With good reason. It's fantastic.
He's wonderful, yeah. Also, we got a cheers for choosing Stella.
Oh,
apparently,
I finished mine way too quickly.
I don't mind, but please, we can grab another one. But Stella was a good choice.
Another one. We got like 2 minutes left.
We gotta fucking go! Alright.
I mean, I would go grab one, but I would have to leave the camera now. And it feels unprofessional.
Sure, nothing professional ever. Yeah. We're strictly professional over here.
I feel locked into this box now. Like I can't go beyond.
Yeah, well, we moved outside of a closed room to an opening space, and it did nothing to help the claustrophobia of the camera. Also cute. He said, Casey, damn, that's exactly why he asked the question, because he noticed that he did that frequently. Check that shit out.
Yeah. It's an excellent tactic. I mean, you 100% can get inspiration from and even quote unquote steal from other DMs the way they do stuff. I like to think that my DMing style is a mix of several different DMing styles.
Sure.
And then kind of doing my own thing for a few things. Trying to emulate one exact DM, I think, is a huge mistake. Because number one, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And you're setting standards for yourself that you may not be able to actually achieve, and you get down on yourself about it, which I do all the damn time.
Oh,
but that's just constantly questioning how I'm doing, and I try to be better about that, because I know that's the kind of crap that players don't want to hear. Is you going like, well, I'm sorry about this and blah blah blah, and they're like, shut up, we had fun. Shut the fuck up.
Plenty of fun, and we're comfortable, and there's snacks and there's beer, so
just look for the players' reactions. If they're laughing or smiling, you're doing an okay
job.
Yeah,
sure. We were just talking about that before we aired.
Or crying.
First, the one that you did, it was shit. I couldn't stop laughing.
It's chaos. Is something that was going to be aired that probably won't see the light of day now, but that's okay. We had fun, so
a ton of fun.
But it was chaos production wise, preparedness wise. We didn't get to finish.
Everyone involved.
But we were having fun. So
good. It was.
I promise I'll do another one shot. I know y'all are just like desperate to see me behind the screen.
I get constant messages saying
Yeah.
Well, shit. I mean, that does put us at our time. Everybody.
At which time? Because we've gone to like 9:30 before. What time are we at right now?
We're at 9.
Oh, we're at 9? Okay.
We're at 9.
Any other remaining questions in there that we missed?
Chug.
I don't have the I think we're both done.
Yeah, we're done.
I finished like 30 minutes ago my beer. I should have gotten one during our break there.
Probably.
Our technical break.
Our break.
That's okay.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to apologize for. I'm fighting the urge to, but I gotta
drive after this, so the one is fine.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's responsible. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess.
No, I'm driving. Only beer, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on that note, thank you everybody for coming and out.
Yeah,
really.
If you like the new format, great. Tell us. If you don't, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly that. Why don't you tell us in the form of a sizable donation?
Yeah. The more you donate, the more likely we'll make a change.
Exactly. You know what? That's a great idea. You guys can compete.
I am happy to sell out.
Yeah. Sorry,
I am for sale.
There we go.
Stella.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, on that note,
what do we got coming up? Anything
I'm trying to think.
We have new episode tomorrow.
Got a new episode coming out tomorrow.
9 p.m. PST is our airtime now.
Correct. We're gonna have another miniature painting and hangout session.
Yeah.
The following week.
Nice.
It's just there might be more people coming on. You're more than welcome to hang out. It's just drinking beer, listening to music, painting minis, being a nerd.
Sure.
That's the game plan.
Sure.
Just something nice and relaxing and chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is on our YouTube thing. We've got YouTube links and stuff all on Twitch, right?
Correct. We do.
Somewhere around it. Do we have it in a display or in the background anywhere on what we're doing, or are we taking up the whole screen right now?
You mean us?
Yeah.
Why don't you take a look at that? Check out cool.
I don't even know what this. Okay.
That's a little setup.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. We are going to be at some point soon.
Speaking of thick legs, jeez.
You're right. I think we might just go to a different.
I don't know if that helped. Probably not.
I don't know. I love seeing it.
I'm gonna keep them crossed up here like this and do some of this. Where's my best angle? If I do sideways, I look thinner, right?
Yeah. If I inhale and go right in the face. We do have a new project that we are going to be filming sometime soon.
New project. Okay, gotcha.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I want to see what you guys do. But, yeah.
Fuck around.
Good.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what it's designed for.
We're going to hurt ourselves. Probably be the source of our own demise.
Good chance.
Or at least problems or injuries.
Yeah.
Likely our own fault. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll blame the dice for it.
As we all do.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much. You're looking beautiful, Bedlam. It says we're looking beautiful and such. Thank you. Alright, well, on that note, everybody, thank you so much. Appreciated the locals as well, the usuals, Bedlam and Mariachi. Thanks so much for coming out.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you. But other than that, if you love somebody, tell them that you love them. And until then, cheers.